You're already dead, yeah. Ding, 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 ding. I am already dead. Hello, everyone. So, we got IZombie, the season finale for season one. And, well, I tried doing the whole entire coverage of it, but you guys said no. No. So, we just we're here actually doing the whole entire season, and I'm just gonna talk about the season and wrap it up and say if it's good, you should watch it, or is it bad, you shouldn't watch it at all. Well, first things first, like I said in the first episode, it was sucky that the makeup sucked at the end of the first episode. Just the fact of how she's supposed to be a zombie, and yeah, it's kind of like what the heck, but hey, whatever. Anyways, iZombie is a very good series. It's very interesting for people who don't know what iZombie is or the story plot behind it. What happens, which it shows in the title credits, is the fact that, well, I'll just give you the big story of it. Is that you have Olivia Moore, aka Liv. For some reason, they want to call him Liv because it's a punny thing to do. Like, but anyways, Olivia was working and trying to make herself part of some medical career, and she was actually engaged to Major Lillywhite. And well, the good news is that everything was going good all the way until her friend, which I don't even know her name, but a friend of hers actually said, "Hey, let's go to this boat party I heard about." And because of that, all hell broke loose at the birth party. In the boat party, all hell broke loose because, let's see, Max Ranger, I think was the name of it, was sponsoring it, and there was some drugs there too, and the drugs were called Utopia. And Blaine, which you will later know who he is, or most likely do know what he is. Well, Blaine basically was the person who turned Olivia into a zombie, along with actually groped her butt and tried to actually get her to try some drugs. Yeah, that's kind of a messed up relationship there to start with. So Olivia tripped off the boat and she drowned. Later, she was alive and well in a body bag, and some dude unzipped the body bag. But we later find out that, guess what? The person who unzipped the body bag actually died by Olivia's hands because she needed brains to eat, and well, he was the nearest person, which is kind of like, oh, dude, you should have just ran for it. It's like you should have unzipped her and said, hey guys, I found a live one, running to them. So at least maybe she'll snap out of it, but on the other hand, she might have not. Excuse me. Because of what just happened, and she's now recollecting what she did, she basically said, yes, Major, I don't love you anymore. The engagement's off. She lives with a friend of hers, Peyton Charles, and, well, basically she decides to live in the, not live in the morgue, she decides to work in the morgue with her new boss, Ravi. And Ravi actually later actually figured out that she's a zombie. And they start the whole idea of going to find a cure for it. Yep, going to find a cure. So along with that, we also have Clive, I'll say Detective Clive. I'm not gonna even try to go for his last name. Sorry, but just know. So Detective Clive actually comes into that place, that morgue, and the dead bodies and everything. So Olivia actually ate the brains, and now we actually find out that when it comes to these zombies, they actually maintain some kind of memory of the brain that they're eating, which is very cool. And also, you have Warm Bodies over there, that movie where it's like, oh, they did the same thing at Warm Bodies, remember? But anyways, so because of that, she now uses the brains that she eat every single episode, and basically it's just episode by episode the fact of finding a murder. My gosh, finding a murder that occurred and finding a killer, arresting that killer, bringing him to justice, saving everything. But of course, when it comes to this series, there is not just one story of Olivia fighting to be something more than just a zombie and also looking for a cure. You also have two other stories. The second story is Blaine, which Blaine turns out to be alive and he's a zombie as well, and he actually has been killing people to survive. Along with that, you also have Blaine's other life, which of course we already know that he was actually associated with drugs. It turns out he decided to defy the person that wants him to work with him again, because he just killed two of the guys that were going to take him out. And he turned those two, so now he has something, and now he begins to do a brain delivery service where apparently I think he might have just scratched people all around the freaking place, turning them into zombies. Of course, there was like a point where I wanted to actually do a video on it, but I was like, whatever. But it turns out that, thank goodness, because I was getting real deep into it, saying, oh, well, so if you have a sex with a zombie, you turn this zombie, because the gelatin he gives the freaking girls turn them into zombies in some way, shape, or form. But instead, no, it was just a sex act, and the girl is so good. The wealthy lady was so good that she made him scratch her, and that turned her into a vampire, turned her into a zombie. There's so many other ones, though. Yeah, we don't even know the story of how many other ones turned into zombies, so, hey, I don't know. So yeah, you have Blaine's story, and then you have Major's story that coincides with Blaine's story, because Major actually was a part of the whole outreach program. I say quote unquote outreach program, big brother little sister thing, and he basically was concerned when some of his little brothers were actually missing in action. And that's when it turns out Blaine actually kills runaways and everything and served them up to his zombie delivery service. And Major basically starts saying, And because Blaine is a total idiot, he allowed one of his flunkies to actually get the shoes off of the boy that Major was looking for. And because of that, yeah, that started getting Major very, very, and he decided to poke around, which basically ended with the season finale of where he almost freaking damn died. And yes, this will contain spoilers, so now's a good time to run. But for anyone who's running, this is a very good show. Definitely go check it out if you actually... Yeah, now you're able to watch it as a marathon. It's very, very good as a marathon. You'll get very in touch with what's going on. And thumbs up, good show. Now let's get on with it for the rest of you who actually says, please continue on. So, with this whole entire story that's going on, it's very, very good and interesting. And then you find out that there's like lots of crazy stuff, like Max Ranger, who is an energy drink, might have had something to do with the apocalypse, apparently. And not only that, but there's a big cover-up there. And there's a big cover-up in the police department as well, because their Lieutenant Suzuki is actually a zombie, and he actually covers up Blaine's mess along with many other zombies that might have came upon him. And of course, one side note is we find out that excuse me, Olivia's friend who took her to the boat show, it turns out she actually still survived as a zombie and went super crazy zombie, because guess what? She didn't have brains for so many days, and now she's turned extremely zombie. They could have saved her, but sadly Reivew wanted to get some blood samples, but the friend got him in there where she was, and Liv had no other choice but to kill her. Which is very, very interesting, is the fact of all of the mindsets that Olivia had to show. Like, for instance, well, actually, Rose McEver had to show. The fact that she had to be a military man, the fact that she had to be a hacker who That was day old brains, by the way. Let's see, drunk reporter, and there's so many that to count that it was very, very interesting. Oh yes, artist, a painter that was really endowed with the whole sex thing, and he needs sexual emotion to paint and stuff. So yeah, you had lots and lots of fun things that happened in this whole entire series. I'll just end it with the big grape I have, just like with freaking The Flash. I have a big grape. So when it ended, when this season ended, you basically find out that there is a cure for the zombieism, but because of the lack of, I'll say, ingredients, they only have enough for 2 cures. So Olivia actually used one cure on Blaine, so now Blaine can't do the zombie business anymore. Also, Blaine's place has been destroyed because Major, after getting caught, because he was an idiot, yeah, after getting caught, he decided to go amongst himself and start gunning. After freeing himself, he decided to go in there, guns ablazing, killing every single person he can, which he did, except for Blaine, who actually is still skilled in his old ways and actually stabbed Major in the side. And that basically makes it to the clear point of Olivia, heck, if I was in your shoes, I would have been turned him into a zombie. So Olivia actually turned to a zombie. He gave him a big speech about how she played God with him and everything. And she took the last one, injected him with it so he could become human again. But it came at a cost of the fact of now you have the little brother, which Olivia has a little brother, got killed. Well, he got extremely hurt in the explosion that Lieutenant Suzuki created just to cover up Blaine's tracks. And now, because Olivia has the same blood ties as her brother, that means that if she gives her blood to her brother, he will become a zombie as well. But because of what Major basically told her previously and made her actually think about things and what she can do and can't do, the fact of like limits and stuff like that, she says no to her mom when she actually can give blood to save his life. All because of freaking Major had to be like, oh, you're playing God. It's not right. Yeah, so technically it's his fault that her brother is now dead because he basically gave her that little speech that basically screwed over the mom. Of course, we go to the mom now. So, whose fault is the blame for this whole entire thing with the little brother? Sadly, it is the mom's fault. I was going to say it's Blaine's fault, then I was going to say it's Olivia's fault, but sadly it's the mom's fault in the first place for her actually pushing the little kid to go ahead and get a job and be like Olivia, along with the fact of she had this application and she gave it to him. If she didn't have the application, didn't push him to actually get a job, then he most likely would have not been at that place at the same time. With that said, I bet the other thing is just the fact of, since he was a brother of Olivia, that means that if he wasn't the brother of Olivia, or if he didn't even know the connection between the two, then he most likely wouldn't have got a job either. But he got the job, kind of, I guess. And he actually came by because there was something weird going on at the place that he was about to work. And because of that, boom! Very, very wounded. No idea if he actually will recover or not. Chances are, I think he might actually die in the next season. He's already dead, and now the mom is completely torn at what in the world is going on here. So, alright, now it's the real thing of should you watch it, should you not watch it, for anyone who actually is continuing watching this. So, is it good to watch? Definitely. To see the beginning all the way to the end, and there will be a season 2, so chances are it's a good idea to watch it now, because if there's a season 2, you're not going to understand what is going on. And note, since Blaine's brain delivery service is gone, that means that everyone who is a zombie will now most likely have to try to control their urges, which fat chance. So zombie apocalypse is ahead. But I will say that this is a very good series, even though if you don't like the whole, like for instance, for me, I don't like anatomy, I don't like biology at all. So seeing brains and seeing the grossness of everything, if you're not with it, then you most likely will have like those urging moments where you're like, ugh, no, please no. But if you're all good, then there you go. Definitely check out this series. The series is very, very good. It has a very good story. There's really no nitpicks or anything to actually say, they could have done this better, they could have done that better. The only thing I have to say is just the first episode where it's like it takes place on Halloween. That's the real gripe about the whole entire series, is just the fact that it takes place on Halloween. The good news is that after the Halloween episode, aka the pilot, there is no shape or form that you actually can see that they're going through Thanksgiving, they're going through Christmas. All you have is just basically, you know that if you're going by what's going on, you might say that it started or it takes place in Halloween all the way to before Thanksgiving. I think that's where it is. So I think in the next season, it will be a good idea to play off that whole in Thanksgiving and then she's crying because her little boy's gone. I think that actually will be a good angle to go by. But anyways, that's all I gotta tell you about this series. IZombie, good series. Go ahead and watch it. And have a great day. You know, I kind of forgot something to talk about. It's the fact of her keeping the zombie thing a secret. She was struggling with that a lot. Sadly, it all came out very soon. I mean, when it came to the whole assassination attempt by some dude, which, yeah, I didn't even talk about that one. The fact that the dude actually tasted her blood, and that's how he turned to a zombie, and she thinks it's her fault, even though it's like, it's not her fault. It's not her fault at all. But still, I do have to tell you this. It's just a fact of her best friend found out she's a zombie when she took out that guy, and she freaked out. We have no idea where she went. And then her ex-fiance found out because of Blaine blabbered out, even though there was an episode that was truly trippy, and she actually did tell him, she actually did tell him that she is a zombie, but it turns out that that brain she had was truly, truly trippy.